The kingdom of the great lion. Deep in the heart of the vast African savanna, where golden grasses swayed in the warm breeze and ancient baobab trees cast long shadows, there ruled a mighty lion named Aslan. His mane was thick and golden, flowing like a river of fire in the wind, and his roar could be heard for miles, shaking the very ground beneath him. All the animals of the land feared and respected him, for he was the undisputed king of the jungle. Aslan was not just a ruler by strength but also by wisdom. He watched over his kingdom with a careful eye, ensuring that all creatures, big and small, lived in harmony. Though he was a fearsome predator, he never hunted more than he needed, and he never caused unnecessary harm. His presence alone was enough to keep peace in the land. The zebras, gazelles, elephants, and even the birds knew that as long as Aslan ruled, they were safe from outside threats. A curious encounter. One afternoon, after feasting on a hearty meal, Aslan decided to take a nap beneath the shade of an old acacia tree. The sun bathed the land in a golden hue, and the distant trumpeting of elephants filled the air with a peaceful melody. As Aslan slept, a tiny creature scurried through the tall grass, hopping over fallen leaves and tiny twigs. This was a mouse named Tycho, a small but sprightly fellow with fur the color of cocoa and beady black eyes that shone with curiosity. Tycho was always exploring, venturing into places other mice dared not go. He had a sharp mind and an even sharper nose for adventure. He often dreamed of doing something grand, of proving that even the smallest of creatures could make a difference in the great jungle. That day, Tycho had been searching for food when he inadvertently stumbled upon the massive sleeping lion. Startled by the sight of such a mighty beast, his heart pounded, but his curiosity got the better of him. Cautiously, he crept closer, marveling at the sheer size of the lion's paws. Each one was larger than his entire body. But just as Tycho was about to retreat, his tiny tail brushed against Aslan's nose. With a thunderous snort, Aslan awoke, his golden eyes snapping open. In one swift motion, his great paw pinned Tycho to the ground. The little mouse squeaked in terror, his small body trembling beneath the lion's powerful grip. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" Aslan growled, his voice a deep rumble that echoed through the savanna. Please, your majesty," Tycho stammered, his tiny voice barely audible. "I didn't mean to wake you. I was just passing through. Please spare my life." The lion narrowed his eyes, considering the insignificant creature beneath his paw. He could end the mouse's life with a single swipe. But then, something unexpected happened. Tycho, despite his fear, held his gaze steady, his little eyes filled with a strange determination. Amused by the tiny creature's courage, Aslan chuckled, a deep, resonant sound that vibrated through his chest. "You are brave for one so small. But tell me, why should I let you go?" Tycho swallowed hard. "If you spare me, great king, perhaps one day I can repay your kindness." Aslan let out a great laugh. "You, a tiny mouse, help me? That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard." But there was something admirable about the mouse's spirit. With a smirk, he lifted his paw. "Very well, little one. Run along before I change my mind." Tycho scampered away as fast as his tiny legs could carry him, disappearing into the tall grass. Aslan shook his head, amused by the encounter, and soon forgot all about the mouse. The hunter's trap. Days turned into weeks, and Aslan continued ruling his kingdom with strength and wisdom. But one fateful day, as he patrolled his territory, he unknowingly wandered into a hunter's trap. A thick, woven net fell from above, entangling his powerful limbs. He roared in fury, thrashing and clawing at the ropes, but the more he struggled, the tighter the net became. The once mighty lion, the king of the jungle, was now powerless. His roars echoed through the trees, frightening birds into flight and sending small creatures scurrying for cover. But one animal did not flee. From a distance, hidden beneath the brush, Tycho recognized the sound. His little ears twitched, and his heart leaped into action. He hurried through the undergrowth, dodging thorns and roots, until he came upon the terrible sight. Aslan, trapped and helpless. "Hold on, your majesty," Tycho squeaked as he climbed up the ropes with his nimble paws. "I will free you." "Tycho," Aslan growled in frustration. "What could you possibly do? The ropes are too strong." "I may be small," Tycho said, his voice firm, "but my teeth are sharp." Without another word, he set to work, gnawing at the thick ropes. Bit by bit, he chewed, his tiny teeth slicing through the fibers. It was slow, grueling work, and his jaw ached, but he did not stop. Hours passed, and as the sun began to set, the final rope snapped. With a mighty lunge, Aslan tore through the last of his bindings and leaped to freedom. He shook himself, his golden mane rippling, and turned his gaze upon the small mouse who had saved him. For the first time in his life, the great lion bowed his head. "You have proven that even the smallest among us can be mighty. I owe you my life, little friend." Tycho beamed with pride. "You once spared me when you had no reason to. I only repaid the kindness." From that day forward, an unbreakable bond formed between the lion and the mouse. They became the most unlikely of friends, and though their sizes were worlds apart, their respect for each other was equal. And so, the lion who once ruled alone now had a tiny but brave companion by his side, proving that no act of kindness is ever too small to change the world. The moral of the story: kindness and bravery come in all sizes, and even the smallest creature can make a great difference.